Jackson State will be looking tomorrow to remain dominant, and Alcorn State will be trying to be spoiler. Something has to give. A matchup between two rival schools and two respected coaches, Coach Prime Deion Sanders and Coach Fred McNair. Something has to give. I'm going to break down the keys to the game for both teams and what Jackson State can do going forward to send a message to everyone, not only just HBCUs, but all of FCS, that they're that team. And for Alcorn State, they know if they can win this game, this will be like winning a championship game. And I'll chime in. What's good, everyone? This is RawTruth Media, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Please like and share this video throughout all social media platforms. So today we're going to talk about Jackson State versus Alcorn State. A rivalry game. It may not be the rivalry level of Jackson State and Southern, but this is an in-state rivalry worth bragging rights, and you know how that is. So first, let me start with Jackson State. What Jackson State has to do, they have to be fundamentally sound. I've always said this, and many other content creators pointed this out. The only ones that can stop Jackson State is themselves. I'm being very honest. When they play a clean game, when they're not making buffoon penalties and just self-inflicting errors, they are tough to beat. Now, also, I hope the refs call a consistent game, because that bull crap I saw last week against Alabama A&M was atrocious. We talk about elevating HBCUs, especially the SWAC. But I hope in the offseason, the commissioner and many others can talk about reevaluating these officials. The most important part to leveling the playing field is having good quality everything, and that's especially with refs. I hope next year that the SWAC and many other conferences and HBCUs, not just SWAC but MEAC, but really the SWAC has the worst refs. I can be honest to say that. I hope next year they can have that discussion to get that rectified. But let me digress. Now, in this matchup, I expect Alcorn State to play the passing lanes, to drop 8 like every other team is doing, because nobody's going to be playing man against Jackson State. It is what it is. So to soften the blow, quote unquote, what you have to do, and I'm sure the coaches are already on it, utilize the tight ends more, because it seems like they're open more times than not. The opposing teams that play against JSU are just not trying to get beat. Also, establishing the run game. Establish the run to set up the pass. Against Alabama A&M, you notice that they were passing a lot starting out, which was different than what they did prior couple weeks ago. I hope they go back to that formula of setting up the run to establish the pass. I think that was one of the reasons why Savion wasn't in the role. When you're a running back, you got to get yourself into rhythm. And I hope JSU establishes that. Especially, I'm kind of selfish. I want him to get 1,000 plus. And I think this will be the game he can do that. But he has about 9 yards to go. Please let me know in the comment section. Last week, you also saw Travis Hunter be utilized. And you see why he was a 5-star on both sides, corner and wide receiver. He is a threat at wide receiver. I expect Brett Bartolone to get him involved more. And for Shadir, they say he's good to go. The only thing I ask for Shadir is to slide. And the crazy part is Shadir Sanders knows how to slide. I've seen him slide before. But there's some times where I get it, quarterbacks, they want to show that they're tough. And I get that. But the JSU fan base, the coaches, they know you're tough, Shadir. So just slide. You're too important to this team to get injured. That hit, I thought it was worse than what it looked. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. But long story short, Shadir, the path that you're on, brother, is really at a high level that hasn't been done in years at the quarterback position for not only SWAC but HBCUs, but not even that for the FCS. You got to protect yourself and slide, because these defenders, they want to do excessive hits on you. You know how it is. So that's the most important part. Besides that, Shadir's having a hell of a season. Very accurate, very poised, and very efficient. And lastly, Alcorn State is trying to be spoiler, and they want to end the season on a high note. They're 5-5, right at 500. But if they win this game, they will be talking about that win for, it'll probably be for years. I'm dead serious. But this season has been a disappointment for Alcorn, because when you add transfers in Javion Howard from Syracuse, who's having a hell of a season, almost to 1,200 rushing yards. I repeat, 1,200 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns. And then you have transfer from Louisiana Tech, Aaron Allen from Mo City. Shout out to Mo City, H-Town. He's had an up and down season. Has a strong arm, but there's a couple things missing in this game. But luckily he's a junior, so he can learn from this year and progress. But he needs to produce more than 7 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, respectfully. I think the talent is there. It just all has to come together. But Alcorn State, I expected more from them. And I know some people may say, nah, they didn't. They're just what they expected and all that stuff. No, I really believe that Alcorn State had what it took to win the West. Now, I didn't guarantee they were going to win the West, but I thought they were going to win a little bit more games than this. But Pear VA and them, shout outs to them, have impressed a lot of people and improved in ways that people didn't even expect. And kudos to Bubba McDowell for having that program to where it is right now. But back on topic. Expect Alcorn State to treat this game as the SWAC championship game, to treat this game as the Celebration Bowl, because it's going to be the last game of the season. And they played very hard for Coach McNair. Now, you know what they're going to do. They're going to try to establish the run game. I mentioned this name before, Javion Howard. They go as far as he goes. Jackson State, even though this defense has been great, there have been times when the run defense that is, will give up a big run play here and there sometimes. That has to be shored up. Now, this defense doesn't give up much. But if you're Alcorn State, if you're able to run on this defense, you can control time of possession and put the pressure back on them. But it's easier said than done. Coach Thurman has these brothers clicking on all cylinders. And since this is a rivalry game, I expected the intensity to be up for both teams. But I'm looking forward to it. The last regular season in the SWAC for these two teams should be a fun Saturday. Let me know in the comment section what you expect in this game. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'm out.